Yeah, let me do that. Some of them I don't know their title yet. Like
Kate, it's me, Gordy. I know you can see me, but I'm the first guest. Yeah, no, it's been wow.
You did stogies last night? Stogies and steaks? Awesome. Really? Yeah, he's got grown kids. Or a grown kid, I should say. Yeah. He's not, actually.
Where is he? He wasn't here. He's coming in today.
Yeah, I didn't have it. Well, because he had to qualify. Oh, wait, no. That's that Paul Sawyer had to qualify. That's his election. Dixon's qualifying in yet. But we are now live on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, I didn't have it. Well, because he had to qualify. Facebook and YouTube. All right. I'm in the LSU alumni suite, yes.
It's a whole university, right? It's not the alumni. Right?
I thought it was just alum. Well, I don't know.
That's good.
Okay. Throw this away. Over there it should be, yeah. If you're right behind it, should be in the shot. Sorry. Say again?
No, it's just all the snow's happened. It's just cold and nothing's melting. So, but there's plenty of snow.
Round two, here we go. We are broadcasting live from the Washington Hilton as we're actually in the LSU suite at Washington Mardi Gras. Cade Wazan producing back home in the 180 Pro studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. Round two is kind of a recap of the Thursday that was at Washington Mardi Gras. We're going to have a fantastic guest list running through for the next 2 hours, and we're going to start that guest list off right now. We got Gordy Russian with us. Gordy. How are you?
Wow, Brian.
I mean, were you ready for? Okay, backstory. Yeah. This is your first time,
right? And so last year I got snowed in.
Yeah.
And so I didn't come up here, and thankfully I decided to go up Tuesday night instead of Wednesday because I was going through Nashville on my flight, and I was like, look, let me go somewhere where they haven't had snow. So I went to Houston. I was able to get up here, and I was driving in. You know, reality set in that this whole city's basically shut down. School's out all week.
Yeah. They
had 10 inches of snow. People can't get to their cars. I mean, they're literally walls of snow, the people that parked on the street. And so you have everything that's shut down. Like the stores, like Nordstrom's and all that is closed. Some of the food places are open. So the city's shut down, but yet Mardi Gras is rolling on.
Absolutely.
Because Louisiana is here. And you got all sorts of Louisiana people out there walking in the snow. I just walked across the street from the hotel with John Spain, and he and his wife are cutting through the snow. So it is it's quite a sight.
It is different to see it like with the snow all because we had our own blizzard last
Yep.
year. Did not look like it does up here. Like the snow that they had up here. I mean, they got the plows run through the streets and all that stuff, and you're literally walking next to a 3-foot pile of snow.
Yes, I mean we're not experienced with walking through this sort of snow. You don't know what's slick and what's hard, and so all of it's been interesting. That being said, look, I think it's been a wonderful week for Louisiana, and I think sort of the spirit of Baton Rouge, BRAC actually having their event downstairs. I just went across the New Orleans chamber. It's so nice to see the state well represented.
And and it's all parts of the state too, which is like the suite next door is Southwest Louisiana.
Right.
The suite on the other side, well, you get Congresswoman Letlow right over here to our left, and then Jefferson Parish to the right. I mean, it's the whole state all encapsulated in one over the course of 3 floors. I mean, it's big.
Well, it's big, and I think I had a chance to go see the governor speak last night, and there were a couple other parties up there. And when you think that with Steve Scalise and Mike Johnson, how well represented Louisiana is up here in Washington, so some good things going on.
Punching above our weight class, definitely when it comes to, and we're continuing that as well with a big announcement today. I'm pretty sure it's public by now. I mean,
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay. I'll just say this: LSU has landed 2 huge Army cybersecurity contracts.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they talked about this morning. It wasn't
Okay,
this morning.
good.
So they were out actually at the state capitol with rolling out, taking pictures. There were meetings out there at 9 o'clock.
U.S. Capitol.
U.S. Capitol, not the state capitol. Excuse me, we're in D.C.
Right.
And I wasn't going out there at 9 o'clock, not in the snow, to go see that. But yeah, there was a lot of buzz about that last night. So good things going on in the state. It's good to see.
Well, and so that's kind of the part of it is like stories like that happen every single year. Something big breaks every single year, whether it be, and we haven't seen anything huge on the election front yet, which I'm still kind of waiting for. But I mean, nothing huge on the election front yet. I mean, we did break some news on my show this morning of somebody who's not running for the 5th.
Yeah, heard about that.
Yeah, the Freddie Ellis, Monroe's mayor, has opted. I thought he would have been a big name. A lot of people thought he would have been a serious player in that election, but he opted out this morning.
Yeah, that district, like we could do a whole segment on that whole district right now, Baton Rouge to Monroe. It's just
not
redrawn, and what are we doing?
Baton Rouge to Monroe, but you got to go the other way too to Washington Parish.
It's so many, random areas, and God bless campaigning that, but it's where we are, and hopefully that gets fixed.
So let's walk through a couple of the things that you got done today, between last night and today. Give me a sense of and we're at the Hilton, which is the home base of this, but it has branched out to where so many different hotels and meeting places have become a part of this thing. You were at the Waldorf last night. Give me set the scene for what went down, because that's multiple events going on at the same time.
Well, I mean, it's the old Trump hotel. That was
right
after his first term. They should change it back to Waldorf Astoria. But amazing hotel. You think about I think about the big hotels we believe in New Orleans, like the Hilton and the Sheraton on Canal Street, and that open area where the lounge is probably 5 times the size.
Yeah,
just the enormity of it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable party by Our Lady of the Lake and FMLS and what they've done in this community, and having a chance to see that. It was obviously new LSU president Wade Bruce has been everywhere.
Yeah.
And obviously, not only with the new leadership that you have at LSU, Virgil Osbury's been a couple places, athletic director, and all the excitement with Lane Kiffin. And so I had a chance to go see some of that. Chenier had a beautiful event out there, and a little bit later here tonight, heading over, Gail Benson and the New Orleans Saints, along with Oshner, have an event at now the Trump Kennedy Center. I hope that I've said that correctly, even though Google has not entered that into the correct thing for that. BRAC, our own very own, actually Baton Rouge Economic Development, is having
partnership.
The partnership is having that downstairs. I'm getting used to that. I'm on the board and I'm still getting used to it. So a lot of good things over here, and so you have all the business that's taking place before the crew, and so the folks that are coming in for the crew that's going to be tonight's Louisiana Live in the ballroom, and then tomorrow night the ball is on Saturday, and the sit-down dinner is tomorrow night.
Well, yeah, so Louisiana Live, to just kind of paint the picture for that, you're going to have 4 bands on one stage but they rotate. It's like a circular stage in the middle of the room, and they rotate. Like one band will play 3 songs, and then the band to their left will play something on the left, and left. So they're never on the entire time, and you get 4 different genres of Louisiana type music, and then some of the best restaurants around are cooking the food and serving up the drinks.
Look, I love it. I wish it wasn't the 3rd week in January up here, but I mean, for DC, the DC economy, God bless if we weren't here. I'm not sure. It'd be a rough week up here.
So as I understand it, 2018, they completely got snowed into the building.
Yeah.
Drank the whole building dry. Could not get more booze into the building.
Well, you know, you're not in New Orleans when at 11 o'clock at the Waldorf Astoria, they turn the lights on. And you're thinking to yourself that you don't want the business.
Right.
Probably 500, 600 people down there. You've got side meetings and business meetings going on, and all the F&B and the suites like this that are fully stocked. And so, just different mentality. Never surprised me. Run everybody out at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. Well, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem tonight because, with the overnight low and everything, I'm not going to be.
But it's like this one case, right?
Well, yeah, there's that part. But, I mean, standing outside waiting on an Uber, goodness gracious. All right, you got to get over to the partnerships party. Lori Malolso is checking the door for you right now. So
thanks for our great sponsors. Thank you. I know you're doing double duty today, and you have a lineup of incredible guests. And so wonderful is everybody's excited that we're up here covering and talking about what's good in Louisiana.
Absolutely, Gordy Rush. Always appreciate the time.
Thank you, man.
Quick break. When we come back, we've got Adam Knapp from Louisiana Leadership up next on Talk 107.3. All right.
I just saw he was across the street. He was coming. I just saw him in New Orleans Chamber, and then they're doing the watch party in here tonight, right?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, brother. Hey, how are you?
Ty, this is Gordy.
Hey, Gordy. Ty. Does he know how to find this?
Do what?
I got my big jack.
Does he know how to find here?
This one, you? Yeah, I told him where it's at. It's a follow the footsteps in the middle of the suite after.
On the first floor.
Yeah, the hardest thing is figuring out what's the first floor.
Yeah, it was the first floor.
It's not the lobby.
All right, we got anybody over on Facebook Live yet? No, it looks that way, but I can't. I think it's the tripod. Hang on. Let's see if that does it. All right. Yeah, it's also all my stuff is on an angle, so that throws it off too. But. Hard to call it a swamp right now because everything is frozen over, to be sure. We've got we we've got there's always a moving cavalcade of guest lists. Adam Knapp from Leaders for a Better Louisiana slated to join us right here, and for the next 12 minutes. So hopefully he can get in enough time. He literally just texted me, said, "Looking for you on the wrong floor." Here's what happens, okay? You got 3 different levels with the suites going on over here, okay? They've got the terrace level that is in between the lobby and like the basement type. They've got convention levels on the bottom. So in between there is a terrace level. Then you've got the lobby level, which is the ground floor, and then we're the first floor. So one up from lobby. So with 3 different levels of the suites, okay, coming up to 1 now. With 3 different levels of suites, it's very easy to get it mashed up as to who's on what level and what, you know. It's forever going to bother me that the ground floor and the first floor are not the same thing. That doesn't make sense in my world, or anybody else from Louisiana. It doesn't make sense because we don't have basements. Oh, by the way, so sweet. All right, Adam Knapp is on his way right now. He's literally in an elevator. So I'm calling it over under 2 minutes till he gets here. And meanwhile, let's give you the lowdown on what's been going on all day long. There have been fundraisers all day long. There have been breakout meetings. Tomorrow is one that a lot of folks are looking forward to because tomorrow is the big economic development luncheon. That's where you learn a lot of not necessarily state GDP, but it's like a recap of all the announcements from last year and a preview for what's to come this year. Like not necessarily based on like, you know, we're attacking this company to move here. We're looking to get this many jobs in this sector, that sort of thing. It's not like that so much as it's just an overview of just general numbers. I tell you what, we've got Eliana Leday with Louisiana Economic Development. She's going to join us at 5 o'clock. I'll let her give that breakdown when she gets in here, to be sure. Let her, you know, kind of explain because that's what she does. She that's her wheelhouse over at LED. In the meanwhile, I called it 2 minutes. He might be another minute before he gets here. Also on the show today, Ty Bofferding from the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association going to be here on our next segment. Along with Eliana Leday, we're going to have David St. Remain in our next hour talking about the Rue Rally and what's the latest with Songs of Survivors. And while we're talking about veterans, Charlton Maganley joined me on the show this morning. He heads up Veterans Affairs for the state of Louisiana. And we really got into a great conversation. And as that conversation continued, I just wanted more and more and more. So regrouping, getting him back on with us for this evening. If you missed out on the morning show, which, you know, that happens, that was a good 12 hours ago. Let me just tell you, it's going to be a great conversation before it's all said and done. So we've got 2 solid hours coming your way. Gordy was talking about the travel to get in here, man. And I tell you this, the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, that they are sponsors of my show in particular and of this broadcast as well. And I got to tell you, they have had to hustle like nobody's hustled over the last couple of days. They have been the total struggle bus to stand there and get yelled at by everybody for things that just aren't their fault. When you look at a 2,000-mile wide storm dropping feet upon feet of snow and just leaving destruction in its wake, what you're facing right there is just massive logistical challenges. And American Airlines, I'll just say it, they dropped the ball. Well, I don't know the inner workings of their business, but the way it looks on the outside, people weren't where they were supposed to be. And flights got canceled left and right. And like I said, make no bones about it. There's a lot of snow out there and a lot of frozen airports and whatnot. In fact, Monroe, Louisiana, we talked with Friday Ellis this morning. Monroe, Louisiana is still looking at a ton of devastation and a ton of folks without power and trees down all over the place and the like. So when you just look at, you know, the entire swath of the nation that got hit by the storm, there were going to be challenges. And the folks at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, they do an amazing job on a day-to-day basis. But when times are tough and they know they have to deliver bad news, at the very least, they deliver that news while looking for alternatives. So appreciate their support. Let's see what we got going on here. I said there's no big news campaign-wise or political-wise just yet. I don't know that we can expect anything huge to come. from this time around, because the way it's looking right now is, there it is. The way it's looking right now is the Senate race is probably just about set. It'd be very, very late for anybody to get into it at this point. Congresswoman Letlow's 5th Congressional District, that might have some called into question before it's all said and done. But we'll talk about that at a later time. Right now, I want to make the most of these last 8 minutes here with Adam Knapp from Leaders for a Better Louisiana. Adam rolls in here. I was just explaining how there are multiple levels. Multiple. Well, especially this floor. This floor is probably the worst. The lobby is the easiest with the, you get the hook around right there. Right. And then the terrace level is, well, that's kind of covert.
Well, my problem is, like, when I thought first floor, I was like, oh, I was on the first floor. No.
Just explaining that.
I'm an idiot.
No, that's we don't have basements, right? So, our first floor is our first floor.
It's like European floors. I don't understand.
Exactly. All right, we got a lot of ground to cover here. We'll get into a little bit about what y'all have got and what y'all are up to over at Leaders for a Better Louisiana in a little bit. But let's start with, what is your mission when you come to Washington Mardi Gras?
So what's best for me is honestly just being able to connect to the folks that are a part of our organization, that they're diverse or across the state, and we don't have a chance to just all be in one place together very often. So for me, the best part of that is just to have a chance to see all of the members of our organization all in one place. The second best thing is kind of the surprise connections that you make that you have forgotten or you need to make that you haven't actually had a chance to ever make before. So it's happened to me already like 3 times this past trip, where I'll have a conversation with somebody that I've been wanting to meet for a long time, and they've been wanting to connect to us.
Can you share? Can you give me an example?
Well, just I wouldn't have a single example, but because the
right answer was
I'm trying to recruit them in.
The right answer was 50 Cent.
That would be huge.
Yeah. So I understand. I've been joking around about that guy. I understand he was everywhere last night.
Big guy.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about individual missions. When you talk about those relationships, you bring it back home again.
Yeah.
What happens at Washington Mardi Gras doesn't dictate policy, but it writes the rough draft. What happens at Washington Mardi Gras doesn't set where your business is going for the next year, but it writes the rough draft. It's about the follow-up.
It writes the rough draft, and I would say it actually builds momentum for an idea. So this morning at our event, so we do a 2-day event while we're here called our DC briefing. It's a kind of a business leaders kind of networking moment, and we kind of think of it as like a big Forbes conference, but in this kind of political environment that is Washington Mardi Gras. And so at our event this morning, we had kind of been encouraging that the administration, the governor's office, work more on workforce issues this year. We've had 2 great years of effort to kind of push the state in economic development. They've done a great job of doing so. As a result, the workforce challenges across the state are significant. And so we think this is the issue of the year. And so we've been kind of spending some time over the last few months talking to a lot of the leaders across the administration about workforce challenges. And so the governor came to our meeting this morning, as he usually does, to just give kind of an outlook for the year. But he signed an executive order that is to direct the Louisiana Works Agency to restructure a lot of how Louisiana is doing workforce issues and services right now in Louisiana. So it's a big thing we've been hoping for a long time, and they're now taking it on. So my point is, it's gonna send that message across not only the business community in one moment, but across the delegation who are here from the legislature.
Okay, so I've been hearing, we've been talking about One Door for over a year now, right? Yeah. And that has been a fantastic mission along the way. This sounds to me like it's just encompassing more and more and broadening out from there.
So think about One Door is a program that's focused on how folks that are in the safety net in Louisiana are given a hand up into careers so they perhaps won't need to be on social services and safety net programs. So this idea is a slightly different one, which is in Louisiana, if you are an employer, small business, mid-sized business, and you're short any number of employees, which is pretty common in most employers, there is not necessarily in Louisiana a great way that you get like customized services to help you think about your challenge of filling your gaps. A lot of what seems to happen is they tell you about a grant program or a service they run that has a lot of bureaucracy to it, but they don't necessarily help you understand kind of the breadth of what Louisiana as a government does to help you. So if I don't walk over to the community colleges, and find out what they offer, I'm not going to initially be told anything about what they can offer me if I walk into some other agency that has some other workforce program.
Right.
So the vision of what the governor is kind of looking at and what we've been encouraging for a while is to really see employers as the client. So that the idea that workforce should actually see a way to realize if all the jobs are at small and mid-sized businesses across the state, in which case there are many, and yet there isn't really a good way for small and mid-sized businesses to receive services or support in a really streamlined way. So that's what we've been asking for, pushing for a long time. And so that's what we hope is going to be kind of a big push, not just of this year. We think it's going to take a few years.
Well, I would imagine so, because you're talking about a lot of different niches
System
within
change.
there. Yeah, because that's the varied number of businesses we have, especially in the small business, for the varied number of businesses we have, being able to help them accelerate their own growth, being able to help them like fill a spot the second they have it, that covers a lot of ground and a lot of different just specificities. There's a lot of different needs.
It's the bigger challenges you're dealing with, and this is where it's going to be difficult. It's why nobody's done it recently. Is you have a lot of pockets of things that are being done. They're not very integrated. They involve changing things that connect to the federal government, which just adds a whole other challenging layer of complexity. So that's the piece that I think they're going to try to tackle. And why does it matter for us? We've seen this administration take on things that others have not been willing to do, that are hard to do, whether that's tax reform, LED reform. And so in this case, we're excited that they'll take on something that has been talked about for decades, but nobody's really had the capacity or political interest to try to battle it. So
I might be oversimplifying this or completely missing the point, but is this, and let's go back to when you were at BRAC, is this like an accelerated handshake?
So it is. Think about this though. It's the better metaphor for me. If you're at all familiar with what LED does with their Fast Start program.
Yes.
So
Okay. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
we bring in a Hyundai, they receive this incredibly boutique, customized experience that is assessing the company's challenges and then customized recommending to them a solution to their challenges. In that case, the state is paying for that as part of their incentive package that they receive by choosing to invest in Louisiana. That is not necessarily the experience of most employers in Louisiana, though. They don't have anything that looks like Fast Start for everybody else.
Okay.
So that to me
That
is
makes-
kind of how
yeah.
to think about it. Whether it's, hey, help me figure out how to build an internship program or a way to pull folks out of the 2 or 4 year schools across Louisiana, or I need to retrain a core of our team, or I need a way to recruit people from other states. It's kind of the idea that you need kind of customized advice and support for understanding the challenge that we have. And we just don't have a structure that way. And other states do.
Yeah.
So that's part of the goal, is to take some best practices from other places.
So this is personnel based. Is there like other services based as well that's going to fold into this, to where, I mean, I don't want to say full on concierge service, but like.
So this is, let me describe this. This is a very beginning of an idea that we hope will take root. Where it leads us.
So I'm
to-
bringing something up that's going to come up 3 years from now.
how it evolves and how customized or deep it goes, I think is going to be something that's going to sort of evolve over time, if it even gets set up in the first place. So our goal this year, organizationally, is just to set the framework in motion, as happened back in 2024 with LED and some of the bigger things they've done on tax reform. Put the ball in motion. Let's see if we can start moving this thing forward. We think it's going to take a few years, but this year they could do a lot of it if they can get it started. So
The state is in a curious spot right now, and we're going to talk about this with Ty Bofferding from Lenoga in just a minute. But the state's a curious spot right now where we've had a number of really good announcements, but they haven't come to fruition yet when it comes to the state's bottom line.
Yeah.
How do we double down on those investments before people have seen return on investment?
well, some of them are. So
Well, yeah.
yeah.
and-
So if you're in different parts of Louisiana, you're experiencing it differently. So in Monroe, they are absolutely hitting the state's bottom line, and the community is very much experiencing kind of what Meta and Entergy's construction.
we had
projects
Friday
are.
Ellis at the show this morning.
Did you? Good.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So the same is true over in Lake Charles. I was just talking to somebody at our event we just hosted across the street, who's seeing it firsthand at the Venture Global construction site in Cameron Parish. So I think they told me something like 10,000 folks that are under construction, 70 some odd cranes that are in the air all at the same time building these facilities.
Insane.
In Cameron, it's hard to get down to
Right.
Cameron. And so it's in pockets that it's happening, that these projects are coming to fruition. But what we're going to see is all this activity that was announced this past year, which is announced in just about every metro in Louisiana, is going to be seeing that unfolding over the next 2 years, I think. And that's just 1 year's worth really of activity, plus kind of the pent up announcements that have been happening in the energy space that just take a while to get to final investment decisions. So I think I think this is going to be a big year. The downstream effect of it is, I think every employer is going to need help with their workforce issue.
Absolutely.
It has effects across the entire labor
But
force.
we've seen that repeatedly, even without all the big announcements. I
Right.
mean, now that we're moving into those, it's just that there are more roles to fill.
That's right. That's
Awesome stuff. I really appreciate you hustling to get over
I
here.
hate to have been late. This is
No,
great.
all good things. I appreciate you hustling to get over here, carving out a couple minutes on a busy day.
It's awesome that y'all are here doing this show. It's always amazing that you have to make it up here and do this. This is great.
Let me tell you the travel story during the break.
Okay.
He's Adam Knapp, leaders out of Louisiana. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Ty Bofferding from the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association joins us. This is our Talk 107.3's coverage of Washington Mardi Gras, which is, of course, presented by Rev, presented by Lamoga, presented by the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, Presley Wealth Management, and Restore the Mississippi River Delta. We're back after this.
Are you Tony? Do you know Tony Zanders? I was just with him a second
With
ago.
Lexus, yeah. Or Nexus,
Have you
yeah.
ever done an interview with him?
He's come on once.
He's here. I was gonna say, like, if you want me to text, I don't know if you. if
My
you're
guest
full.
list is all full. Up,
Okay, I
so
was gonna
yeah,
check.
but
Okay.
I need to touch base with him a lot more often because
He's doing cool
he
stuff.
pivoted from what Steven was doing
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
He pivoted a lot.
Yeah, but what they're doing is really cool.
Yes.
They're doing some really neat stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, before next, it was kind of all over the place. He's a lot more narrow.
Which is what they need to be. I mean, when they're reasonably a pretty small organization. Plus, the move downtown is really a big deal.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
Well, so their last when they did the pitch night thing and all that, and God bless, I love Leroy's Little Smack and Lemonade. But the purpose of that thing is not to have a
not the
fucking
building.
lemonade stand come in
lemonade
second.
companies, not tech companies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I get it. I love it. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
It's
well-
diabetes in a cup.
Yeah, that's
But-
right. That's right. And by the way, have you ever had it? It's
Yes.
delicious, but it's like twice as expensive as every other lemonade on the stand. I was like, I mean, I love it, but only
It's
so much I
also
can pay
like
for
4
one thing.
times as sweet.
It is
So
super sweet.
yeah.
But
All right.
good to see you, man. Sorry again for putting you out.
No. We're golden, man. Morty's up here this year.
Yeah, he was just at our event a few minutes
So
ago. Yeah.
I think we're going to look to broaden this by another day.
Oh, cool.
Just because all the really good shit from my end, from your end, the good shit happens on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
By the time you're to Thursday,
Yeah.
everybody's focused on Louisiana Live and the ball and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. So
It's too loud to do this in the lobby, I'm guessing.
very very much so.
Yeah.
Also, I don't want to be in the lobby.
Okay.
I want to be in the periphery. I do not want to get in the way. The fact that it's like a retreat.
See.
Sorry, Ty.
Yeah.
When you go on like a religious retreat or a company retreat or something, the fact that you're removed from the normal trappings and normal
Yeah.
like
Gives you
hiccups,
some distance
you can
from
open up and be honest with each other. You can be your guard gets down. I don't want
people.
to be a media presence.
Yeah.
Like, well, Piper could roam the hallway, sure, that's fine. But like,
Doing
I don't-
interviews on the street.
There are reporters kind of wandering around. Stephanie Grace, I bumped into
Oh, Stephanie's here?
last
Yeah.
night. I was like, oh, hey.
But as soon as you did, though, the walls went back up, didn't they?
No, because I hang out with Stephanie.
Well,
Well, that is, and that's
kind of friends with a lot of those guys.
well, but that is like the big benefit of watching Mardi Gras. The difference between having meetings, one of the differences having meetings up here versus downstate is, I feel like you're always trying to get past that wall that immediately goes up. You're like, hey, what do you need? What do you want? We're here. It already starts down to, okay, you're having those talks.
But I don't want to be an impediment to what makes this thing great.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
That's really-
I don't.
I think it actually is kind of fun that you're here coming in. It gets good exposure.
Yes, but I mean, the hard part is explaining it to promotions department. Why I don't want big talk 107.3 backdrops and all that other shit. I'm like, no, I blend in.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. Yeah, that's great. So this is a cool space to be in.
So 8 o'clock tonight, LSU in Arkansas.
Oh, that's
8:15, LSU will be up by 30. It'll be over.
that's right. That's right.
So if Louisiana Live gets overcrowded,
Or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
or anybody that didn't score a ticket to the Gail Benson thing,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Shit. He's going there.
He should.
Yeah.
Good. See you, man.
Later, Adam. You good till about 50?
Yeah, whatever you need.
It is interesting if you, because if you I mean, I don't know if the company would be willing to do the suite, but if you did do a suite that was on like the first floor somewhere near where you have a sign, but it's like, it is a room. So it's like, it's not, you're not out in the hallway, but it's a removed thing. But you can even have people who could come and watch and see the live show.
Right.
But like you have it like very much cordoned off and separated.
Right.
But then that'd be great promotion for just for the outlet.
Yeah.
People coming in to watch the live.
Yeah. Well, because my first thought was like off to the side of the lobby where the little sundries is, and have everybody in the background, like so the background of the videos.
You got to worry about people who are somebody, and then you're catching somebody doing something dumb.
Yeah.
And then,
have you met my niece? This ain't her.
Yeah. Then you're narking on whatever.
Right. That's what I wanted to avoid.
But where it's like if you have it in a room, like in a smaller suite, where you have the camera facing like the door camera view wall, and then people can come in and like see the show as it's happening.
Yeah.
But you got to worry about like copyrights and stuff too if you have too much. But
yeah,
it is something to be interesting. But it would be like more of a like, exposure for the studio, but very much not out and about in it. But it's more of kind of like a
yeah. Well, capital in terms of the nation's capital city, as far as the U.S. Capitol is concerned, how far away are we from the U.S. Capitol right now? U.S. Capitol building. Let's see. We are, just geographically speaking, we are, oh my God, all the streets are closed. Okay, about 6 miles away. That's not too far. I've never actually put that in the old map there. This is our continuing coverage of Washington Mardi Gras on Talk 107.3 FM. We're going to keep the conversation moving. I want to welcome back Ty Bofferding from the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me on.
No, glad to have you on here. We're gonna so the first question I ask everybody, because everybody has a different mission here at Washington Mardi Gras. What's your mission here at Washington Mardi Gras?
Really, I mean, I think the mission that we have is the same mission that Washington Mardi Gras has, which is getting people together, have conversations. From Lamoga, we obviously represent major energy employers in our state. And it's incredible. Washington Mardi Gras is an opportunity to get employers, those who run the workforce efforts in our state, with local leaders at the town, parish, state level, and then our federal delegation too. Getting everybody in a room to be, here's our goal, here's where we want to be, and then how do we all work together to accomplish that goal? And obviously, Lamoga members play a big part of that. So that's really the goal, is just to make those connections and to get everybody rowing in the same direction.
Well, so as far as we've been talking about, big announcements over the last couple of years and whatnot, and them coming to fruition, Louisiana is in an interesting space right now where we've had a lot of those announcements, and depending on where you are, you haven't seen them come to fruition yet. Some places have, like we were talking about Friday Ellis up in Monroe. Monroe is seeing it in real time right now. Here in, well, not shouldn't say here, but back home in the capital region, we're going to start to very soon. What is Lamoga's approach to making sure that the message stays on point before the GDP really hits?
Yeah, and let's also address the good news that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
We've had lease sales in the Gulf for the first time in several years in
Yes.
December. We have some great events earlier today with Woodside and the investment that's happening in Southwest Louisiana and the impact that that's having across.
I'm sorry, recap that one because I skipped past it earlier in the show.
$17 billion investment into exporting natural gas from the Haynesville, bringing it down to South Louisiana, and then exporting it to the world. That's big. And there's one person who was there talking about in Iberia Parish, where they're seeing the economic impact of it, and it's really something that's great because what you're hearing a lot up here is, I think, what you hear everywhere, which is we talk about population growth in our state, we talk about kids moving away, and the one thing that Louisiana Energy really does is contributes more than anybody to create those economic opportunities that keep our kids here in Louisiana.
Right.
You have tremendous work opportunities with a facility like Woodside. You also have all the LNG that's happening in Southwest Louisiana and the Haynesville up in North Louisiana. And then when you also look at the big announcements that we've had from Meta or from Hyundai Steel coming to Louisiana, a big part of that is access to affordable energy at an industrial level that's provided from the energy industry that we have here in Louisiana. So all of the good, positive things that we have really come down to a strong energy industry. But you're right, there are some announcements that we're still waiting to see come to fruition that are down. We need to keep our eye on the ball. We need to know that that opportunity is there, but it's not going to be there forever. So how do we all get into a room? How do we figure out how do we get to that point where we can be creating those opportunities that will keep our kids here in Louisiana instead of having them have to move to Texas or Georgia or elsewhere to try to start a life.
So you know everything's a sports analogy with me.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, good. So you're gonna love this one. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Louisiana right now is the current LSU football team. Okay, we had a great recruiting class.
Mhm.
We had top of the line transfer portal. It's nothing but good news, but nothing's been won on the field yet.
And can I?
We're in that
Yeah.
that spot.
And I'll extend that metaphor because how many times have we been in this position ahead of a season, thrilled about the roster, excited for the season, and then after a few weeks we play down to our competition, and then we see a season just passes by and we had so much excitement, but we have to realize we actually have to turn that into actual accomplishments on the field.
Right.
And that we can't just rest on all the hype that we have. And we're in a pitched battle with states like Texas to attract a lot of these type of projects.
Mhm.
So just because we have all this opportunity, we have all this potential, we have to have it show on the field, and we have to bring in some W's.
So how does that happen? How do we stay on brand with that? I mean, in football, everybody's going to buy their season tickets after, a great recruiting class and transfer portal. Everybody's going to buy in on that front. But as far as like looking at Louisiana as a team is concerned right now, 2-a-days is what? The legislative session?
Yeah, that's coming up. So that'll be big. I mean, look, you have a lot of like the success that we've had in the state isn't by accident.
Mhm.
I mean, you have, and also I want to take back the companies, the energy companies here in Louisiana, they're a lot more than a logo on a letterhead.
Yeah.
This is hundreds of thousands of employees who live, work, and raise their kids here in Louisiana.
Yes.
They know how to get things done. They know how to create opportunity. They know how to get the job done. And it's really just let's not get in our own way, and let's empower those who can create those opportunities and bring that business here to Louisiana rather than seeing it have go somewhere else.
What does getting in our own way look like? Give me some examples of what getting in our own way looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now we have a lot of investment that's coming into Louisiana because of we have a lot of investment coming in, and then we're thinking, okay, well, this is nice, but here, let's play around the edges. Let's pass some legislation to inhibit this or inhibit that. I mean, obviously, I think where I think you can guess what I'm alluding to.
I'll say it out loud.
Yeah.
You're dancing around carbon capture is what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's one where if you want to keep it with the football analogy, that's one where, okay, there's one of two paths we can go here. Either we're going to run the Les Miles playbook and just hand off tackle and shut everything down, or there's another possibility.
Yeah, let me extend the metaphor at risk of overextending the metaphor.
No, you cannot overextend the metaphor. It runs.
Well, carbon capture is kind of like NIL. We've had an industry that has been pretty much constant for a long time. We've done really well, and now we have a shakeup of a new opportunity, and it's really going to come down to who takes advantage of this opportunity and who is able to use it to excel. Lane Kiffin is really leaning into the transfer portal, and you see places like Clemson that aren't.
Right.
Do we want to be like a Clemson, or do we want to be like LSU and really take advantage of this? But also, there's been a lot of concern around the technology. A lot of it's unfounded. There are those who are very opposed to industry in Louisiana. We've dealt with them before, and there's communicating to those who are paying attention. There's communicating to get people to pay attention. And then they're scaring people into paying attention. And there's been a lot of falsehoods, a lot of misinformation about carbon capture to scare a lot of people into paying attention for a particular for kind of a particular agenda. Now, not to water down those concerns. I mean, I think people are asking questions. They certainly can. We're confident that it's unlike NIL. This isn't a new technology.
Right.
Sequestration of CO2 is something we've done in enhanced oil recovery in Louisiana safely for over 50 years.
Right.
So I guess the analogy breaks down a little bit, but I think the more you learn about
There's always been cash in a duffel bag. Sorry.
That's fair. I'm not gonna get into that.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, but carbon capture, it's something that Louisiana is specifically positioned with our geology, but also with our expertise.
Mhm.
I mean, these are the same people that have been working in the energy industry in Louisiana for over a century.
Right.
That have been doing things safely, that know how to get things done. And that's why companies look to Louisiana, because they know we can do these things effectively. We can do these things productively, and we can be successful. So it's really like, are we going to take advantage of that opportunity And all these major projects that are coming to Louisiana, that's a big factor.
Yeah.
As to why they're choosing where they want to go, because they know Louisiana has the ability to get it done.
Yeah, and it does, like your own
and-
personal stance doesn't matter. Either you invest in it or Michigan steals your quarterback.
It's true. And the other thing, and I'll take a step away from the analogy for a little bit, but this also has the opportunity to bring investment to parts of our state that haven't benefited nearly as much. From the
Adam
industry.
Knapp just talked about Iberia Parish just a second ago. Like, and so yeah,
And you also look in, like you look at what it could potentially do for the forestry industry.
Oh,
You know,
my
we had a paper mill closed down in, I believe, Natchitoches last year, and that's hundreds of jobs that went away.
Yeah.
And this is technology that could increase because look, there's a global marketplace that's demanding products that you need carbon capture in order to deliver.
Mhm.
Now, whether I heard somebody use the analogy of organic bananas, right? Like, I'm not going to go to the store and pay more money for organic bananas, but if somebody else is going to, and I own a store, I'm going to sell that product. to them.
right.
But what that does is that makes Louisiana businesses more competitive because we're in a global marketplace. And when you talk about things like forestry to make our paper mills more competitive on a global market, to be able to not just keep the industry that we have in certain areas, but actually grow it and expand it. And when you do that, you have more population, you have more money flowing through the economy. That needs more restaurants. That means more hotels. The Louisiana energy industry right now supports over 306,000 jobs. We did a study last year. That's everybody that works directly from upstream, midstream, downstream, but also the support industries. That's also restaurants and towns that exist and are able to be vibrant because of a healthy energy industry.
So, and we always forget about the trickle down from that. Like, let's talk about a restaurant, just a restaurant, okay?
Yeah.
From the restaurant, you have people who work at the restaurant,
Mhm.
and those people have, you know, their own cars, their own homes, that they're borrowing money, they're investing in their own retirements and whatnot. From there, you also have the linen service that services the restaurant, and the food service that provides the food to the restaurant. I mean, you open up a restaurant, you're talking about peripheral jobs that go along with it.
Exactly.
Now think about a community that's big enough to have a hospital and all the trickle down that would come from there. Like, when you build communities, you're building out multifaceted streams of income.
Yeah, and also kind of relates to that is a story about a lot of our member companies that don't think gets told as well, which is these companies are part of our communities.
Mhm.
They want to see their local community successful.
Yeah.
When they're donating to a local school, it's because their kids go to that school.
Right.
They want to make these areas an attractive place to move to live, to have your family, because that's where they live.
Mhm.
And they want to bring in more people because if they want to grow, they succeed when the community succeeds. And I think that's a story that doesn't get told as much. I think a lot of people try to look at some of our major energy companies as some outside entity that's coming into Louisiana.
Right.
No, these are thousands of people who are born, raised here, raising their own families here, and want to continue to do that.
Yeah.
So it's really, I think, an exciting time where we've had great preseason. We're going into we're going to be going into the first game here pretty soon.
Mhm.
We want to keep our quarterback. We don't want it to be taken by University of Texas or Michigan or wherever. And it's just about putting points on the board and continuing to do so, and not to take away from the great announcements that we've had. Just this morning, Governor Landry signed an executive order to modernize our workforce development because we have so many announcements.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we can fill them
Yeah.
because we want to fill them with Louisiana workers. And that was exciting to see that announcement from the governor. It's something that we are extremely interested in. So we're looking forward. We have a lot of pieces. We just got to put it together. We got to have a successful season.
Yeah, we covered a lot of that with the executive order with Adam Knapp from Leaders for a Better Louisiana.
Yeah.
And your world and that world are going to collide very, very strongly.
Mhm.
And it's going to revolve a lot around the community technical college world as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So-
It's going to be kind of all of the above, and that's what's important is if we can have good systems to train our high schoolers so that they know when I graduate high school I could be making six figures, and you can have well-paying jobs without having to go get a college degree, and that'll allow me to stay here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the coolest things is when you see a facility or some plant that has 3 generations of a family still working in the same facility because they got that opportunity, and creating more of that and making sure that they're prepared.
Look, you're talking to a guy whose
We
oldest
need that.
daughter has left the nest to go to Mississippi,
Mhm.
to go to college at Southern Miss, and like legit, I don't know if she's coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I don't know if she's coming back,
Yeah, and it breaks your heart, and you converse that with the story I
but I want the best for her.
Yeah, exactly. And I just heard a story just on Tuesday at an event, and somebody was talking about how their daughter was graduating with a chemical engineering degree, and assumed that they were going to be they were going to move out of state to find an opportunity. There was a company that had an opening that was really doing hard recruiting that she really connected with, and now she's going to be able to stay in Louisiana and build a career, have a family, and be able to start her second phase of her life in Louisiana because of those opportunities that our strong energy industry is able to provide.
He's Ty Boffernick with the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association. We got to take a quick break. Ty, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
by.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We come break. We'll close out hour number 1. Hour number 2 is coming up in a little bit. Stick around. This is Talk 107.3's coverage of Washington Mardi Gras. Oh, that I could have kept going for another 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
How'd I do? That's actually my first interview.
Really? You've been on with me before?
I just always book them.
Okay.
I always book the interviews.
Tom needs to put you out there more.
Hey,
That's right. That was so good.
That's good. You know, he's also a good singer.
Yes, he is. No, I'm not taking away from him, but
Yeah.
like,
No, he's awesome. Are we still? Is there audio still? Like?
no, there's just video. So I turned them down.
Yeah, still good. Yeah. No, thanks for having me.
My absolute pleasure. Yes.
What's up?
I have a space to do my show tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
Wait, oh. No, I don't have a place to do my show. Never mind. About to head your way, wherever that is. Okay, Tenleytown. Sweet. First floor. Follow. I should just copy this so I can just paste it. Footsteps to the suite after they end.
Do you know where Scalise's party is? I thought it was Tenley.
Who?
Scalise?
Where is Scalise? I know Letlow and Higgins are that way.
Right.
Carter's this way. Scalise isn't on the lobby floor?
I didn't see it.
I don't know. I don't have my map handy. Shit.
Is there not?
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't help much.
Okay.
Here, let me see if
Oh. Thank you.
Thursday. Do you know what time it started?
What? 5 to 7.
7, 6, what conversation capacity, partnership,
I know everyone's running late because the traffic is horrible.
It's brutal.
It's brutal, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't get to get into American Airlines.
Wait, do what?
We didn't get into the American Airlines and the flights fiasco.
Oh, no, we did not.
It's bad. Everything's bad.
Well, yeah,
Well,
I got canceled.
Pilots are all over the country. You
Yeah,
can't get to the
they
cities that are good
I
in
know.
order to fly.
Yeah, they kind of got caught with their pants down on this one. Where
I mean, there's not much you can do because you can't get the pilots to the places they have to fly. It's like you can't pre-prep that out.
yeah,
Really, because it's like you're just gonna send a bunch of empty flights out to the other, like just to evacuate all your planes.
no,
Yeah.
I just well, you had wherever the plane stopped, that's where they were gonna go, right?
So it was like I think there was a flight that was supposed to go from like Dallas to Baton Rouge, and
Oh.
that was supposed to be the pilots for Baton Rouge.
I just realized it is Rock Creek. Okay. And it's Carter, not Scalise. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Thank you.
All good.
All right.
All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Got just a couple minutes before we hit the top of the hour. ABC News is going to be coming your way. We will pick things back up next hour. We've got Ileana Lede coming in from the Louisiana Department of Economic Development. Got a lot to cover with her. I was talking with her earlier over at the Louisiana Now Pavilion. If that name sounds familiar, the Louisiana Now Pavilion, you remember back during the Super Bowl when our Secretary of Economic Development said, hey, we should take all this hype and all these people coming to town and all these journalists and all these influencers and all these people who have their eyes on Louisiana and show them that we're open for business. And right next to the Montreal Convention Center in New Orleans, they opened up this tent-covered pavilion, and it was awesome. And they really showed off what we do here, how we do it, and how we do it differently than everywhere else in the country. And the results were phenomenal. Well, downstairs, and there's a courtyard at the Washington Hilton. Downstairs, there is the Louisiana Now Pavilion has been reopened. So we will talk about, well, we might let Susan Bourgeois talk about that tomorrow. But my point is, I was talking with Ileana about some of the stuff that she's working on. So get ready for a fantastic conversation there. After that, it's going to be very veteran-centric right here. David St. Romain, you know DSR from his musical career and from horsing around with me on the radio from time to time, and his work with Songs of Survivors. He created this program that has just absolutely taken off. Well, he's got something coming up. The Roo Rally is going to be back this year. We're going to talk about that and a few other things. Also, Charlton Maganley heads up the Department of Veterans Affairs for Louisiana. He's going to join us at 6:30-ish. Might push that back by a little bit. But right now, let's break it. We got ABC News coming your way. Hour 2 is next right here on Talk 107.3 FM.
Hi, Ryan.
Well, hello.
I was nervous because I couldn't find you guys.
You're not the first. Adam Knapp had missed half this thing looking for us. Tell me that's not the same glass of wine from 4 hours ago.
Wow, that would mean I had incredible discipline.
Right?
Incredible amount of discipline. No, it is not. It is not. I'm impressed you think that though. So what time does the show run until?
7.
Okay.
So we're going to go from, we'll come back in at 6 minutes after the hour,
Okay.
and then we'll go to about 15-ish, maybe 20.
Perfect. Whatever.
However long the conversation is.
Can we put on our headsets and I'm going to send a picture to Emma, our communications director?
Yeah.
Let her know we made it. Thank you.
My pleasure. So where do you want to start and where you want this to go? Like, because I know we talked about a couple different things, but
Okay, so have you done any LED talk so far?
no, you're the first.
Okay.
I'll have Susan tomorrow, and who else do I have? Innovation is what? I don't. It's in my text from Emma. But you're the first. So
So where do we start? So, we're early in 2026. But let's, jump back like what is it looking like going into 2026 from an economic development standpoint?
Okay.
What's the outlook look like for you guys?
Okay.
January, and then, I can give my title, but how is Louisiana stacking up against other states these days?
Yes, stacking up against other
Stacking
states.
up other states.
Well, and so I do a hit on a New Orleans radio show every week, Corey Johnson show,
yeah,
and he claims to be centrist, but I swear to God,
yes,
it's constant needling to the right or at the right.
yeah.
But he was talking about how Louisiana's GDP is trailing everybody else, and I'm like, but we're in this waiting period right now, where like
Mhm.
the jobs are on their way. They've all been announced,
Mhm.
and there's going to be more to come because you don't just win and like once or twice, you keep winning. So like, where are we with the keeping the messaging moving forward before showing that ROI?
Yeah, yeah,
So-
no, I think that's a legitimate, yeah, fair question. And, and then, I mean, just like however the conversation goes, whatever
Yeah.
you want to,
Oh, we'll end up covering like maybe a third of what we want to get to.
right?
That's
Do
why I
you
have to
love
have
your
you.
job, Ryan? Radio's so fun.
Yes, I do. If you would ask me that at 7:00 this morning, the answer would have been absolutely no. But
Right, because you're operating on Eastern.
well, I was operating on 1 hour of sleep.
Yeah.
So, like, literally got to my Airbnb at 1:45 this morning, and like you don't just wind down after that. So, 1:45 this morning
From where? From travel or
from travel. Yeah, yesterday started for me at 5:30 in the morning at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport for a flight at 7:00 that I knew going in was canceled. So I got there early to see what else was out there. There was nothing because it was all American and United. So everything American was canceled. Everything United was overbooked because they pushed American over to it. So I was left in the lurch.
Oh my goodness.
So I pivoted once the third flight I was supposed to be on was canceled. I pivoted and made a booking on Southwest. So I went from Baton Rouge Airport to New Orleans Airport. And then had a 3:00 flight that, what up, brother?
What's up?
3:00 flight that got pushed back by an hour that was supposed to lay over Houston.
Here?
I was like, yes, please.
I got one if you want to head outside afterwards.
Damn, yeah.
I got bowl, but it's at the hotel. Sorry, you can't do that.
Like, hello, I'm Liliana.
Liliana, this is David St.
I'm
Rand.
so sorry. I said that from you.
Well, the headsets are turned down, so that did not go on Facebook.
I'm with, we did economic development. Did you guys work together?
A little bit. We mostly just works around.
Yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter, entertainer,
Uh-huh.
extraordinary. I have a nonprofit. I
Uh-huh.
do songwriting with veterans. So I serve veterans.
What's it called?
Songs of survivors.
Okay.
We put on workshops with veterans. We come together and talk about our stories. We produce it and deliver it to them.
That's
It's
great.
statewide.
How long have you been doing that?
This might be
Nice. Are you a veteran?
my brother's currently in operations.
Nice. That's really, really cool.
A lot of good stuff. Back on.
Menü aldı şimdi. Suda. Hadi. Bir şey yazdı menü.
You tired? Tired.
You got anything going tonight?
You guys get a lot. Afterwards, I think I'm going somewhere with somebody.
Okay. Hour 2 coming your way. 5:06 at Talk 107.3 FM, 6:06 at Washington Mardi Gras. Our coverage of Washington Mardi Gras continues right now, and we got you for one more hour before we close up shop for the evening and have a little bit of fun. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning for the normal mornings with Brian Haldane, 6 to 9 right here on Talk 107.3 FM. And as you heard Big Voice Guy say, our coverage is presented by Presley Wealth Management, the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association, Baton Rouge Metro Airport, Restore the Mississippi River Delta, and of course the great folks over at Rev. We're going to talk economic development, and then we're going to talk veterans. We talked a lot of economic development in our first hour. Had Adam Knapp from Leaders for Better Louisiana here in the first hour. We had Ty Bofferding from Lamoga stopping by. Well, now we're getting inside that economic development department. In fact, the Chief Economic Development Officer over there, Eliana Day, is with us. Good evening. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Excited to join you for this broadcast.
Well, glad to have you on here because you've been a busy person, and that doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I'm the Chief Economic Competitiveness Officer.
Competitiveness.
Yes, at
I wrote it down wrong.
Yeah, at Louisiana Economic Development. You know, trying to look at ways to best position Louisiana to be more competitive, respective to other states.
Okay, so I want to get to that in a second because respective to other states is an important thing because there's constant migration in the country, whether your state's losing people or gaining people. We actually gained a few people last year, but whether your state's losing people or gaining people is always a thing. So it's not just about what we're doing. We're not in a bubble. It's about what Texas is doing and what Arkansas or Tennessee or Florida. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But I just want to start with the overall, where are we outlook-wise? What are we looking at right now?
Yeah. So we just wrapped up 2025 with a historic year in terms of announced projects. So what that means, we have the biggest year in Louisiana's history in terms of the level of capital investment, the level of jobs, and the types of jobs. So 2025 was the biggest year in capital investment. We were looking at more than $60 billion, 9,300 direct jobs. And so what that means is that companies have committed to this level of investment. It hasn't necessarily happened yet. These are announced projects. These are companies that have said they're committed to being in Louisiana. They want to be in Louisiana. They're going to bring more than 9,000 jobs. What's really remarkable about these 9,300 direct jobs, these are direct new jobs working for these companies, is that these jobs are going to be paying an average of $91,000 a year. So that, to me, you hear the $60 billion, and it's hard to put that into like, what exactly does that mean? It sounds like a big number, but to me, the $91,000, that's 30,000 higher than the state average right now. State average in wages for an individual is about $60,000 across the state. And so these jobs that are coming in pay $90,000. And so what that means is that people have a better quality of life, that they have more opportunities, that there are, more things that they can do with their families, more spending power, all of these things. It's truly significant. So when we're looking at the types of projects that are coming into Louisiana, we want to bring in jobs, but not just any jobs, these high paying jobs that are going to keep people here. And you hit on it, and saying, the out-migration, people, what is going to keep people here? Opportunity.
Yes.
And to have better jobs. I mean, that's fundamentally what we're talking about here.
No, absolutely. And it's not just, we're not just here to survive, we're here to thrive.
Yes.
We need to be, and that's the space we need to be in. And yeah, when you have higher paying jobs, you have more disposable income. When you have more disposable income, that means that there are other businesses that will open up, on that, I don't want to say on the entertainment front, but you'll have them where people are spending. You'll also have more opportunities if you're making more on the front end to invest and save. So there's businesses that will open on that end. You'll have more opportunities to maybe, after a few years of working for a big company that announced they're coming here, they've bankrolled enough to become an entrepreneur and jump off their own cliff and create more down the road.
That's exactly right.
The peripheral is so much greater than the direct.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. These higher paying jobs, those are folks who have more disposable income to go out, and they have spending power and that's where you get into the indirect jobs and what they generate in terms of other jobs in the community. And so but by having more, there's more spending power, there's more sales taxes, there's more property tax coming to these communities. So it's a whole circle that keeps building.
And so that's an important point of this whole equation too. And I don't want to derail it with it. I just want to make a quick note that when you have higher paying jobs coming in, you have higher property taxes, you have higher, well, let's hope we're getting rid of state income taxes, but you have more sales, which generates more sales tax revenue. You have more ways to fund state and local coffers, so that even though you've got people moving in at a higher paying job, you're not leaving the poorest of your citizens behind. You're actually helping them more because their coffers remain full for what assistance they need.
That's exactly it. And we know we have the culture, and people want to stay here because of their families. I know for me personally, I wanted to be here, but to have my children to have access to the best food and culture and museums and all these things, and to have opportunity, not to have to sacrifice professional success and opportunity at the expense of culture and music and all the things. You can have all of those things here. That's the goal.
Yes, just more abundance is all we're looking for on that front. All right, so I said we were going to get around to it. Louisiana's not in a bubble. We're not in a vacuum. We do have to compete with other states. When when LED's out on the road recruiting, I'm sure you're told regularly what other states are up to and why they're a decent pitch as well. So how do we stack up against other states?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the fundamental point. So a company will come to Louisiana and they say, oh, we like Louisiana, we like your infrastructure, we like your access to the river or rail or different assets that we have. But we're also looking at other states. We're also looking at Tennessee or Texas, or depending on the industry, they're looking at other states. So how do we best position ourselves to compete with these other states? So you look at different aspects. You look at the tax structure. How does our tax structure compare to other states? You look at, your incentives are a piece of the puzzle, but they're not, the whole thing. You look at your workforce, the availability and the strength of your workforce. You look at the quality of the sites that you have. So companies are looking at the property and the sites. And yes, you might have the acreage, but how ready is that site to actually go into commerce? Like, does it have the components to actually operate? So there's different product that we work on improving in order to make us more competitive. So Louisiana is making significant progress in various types of rankings. And so, when I first came into this job in competitiveness and rankings, someone from another state said, oh yeah, you need to look at like most improved, like that's going to be your sweet spot. That's great if we're most improved, but we want absolutes. We're looking at absolutes. We think that we can compete, and we're seeing that we can compete in top 10 absolute, not just most improved, that's good to see, but also one of the top 10 states for business per area development. Wallet Hub just a week ago put out, they have an annual ranking, personal finance national site, and best states to start a business.
Mm-hmm.
And for best states to start a business, for the business environment, we're in the top 10 there. We also show the most growth nationally, which is fantastic, but we're in the top 10. We're in the top 10 for low operating costs to run a business. So there's a lot of areas where we are already excelling in being in the top 10, but you're doing a public service right now and letting people know about it.
Okay, so there's operating business, but the success of the business has to play into this as well.
Oh, absolutely. So there's a saying in economic development, a company will come to a state based on promises, but they expand based on experience.
Yes.
And so that is very important to us. Not that one is better than the other. We want both. We want new businesses coming here, but we also want expansions, because the expansions speak to, hey, we've been here for a decade, we've been here for 20 years, and we're choosing to expand here instead of moving to another state. So when you see expansions, it shows that things are working here.
Can I keep you for like 3 more minutes? Because I got like 2 or 3 more questions, and I know I said you got like 15. Okay. So along with that, this is you're talking about working in, there's a lot of logistics that go on within that, because you're talking about local governments. You're talking about the individual municipalities, you're talking about parishes, but you're also talking about state government. And state government kind of, well, I don't want to say has to be short attention span theater, but can get fatigued from time to time. I'm going somewhere with this. We've spent 2 legislative sessions working on insurance, working on tort reform in the insurance world, right? We're probably going to start to see a little fatigue on that front. Do you go at them and keep pounding away at insurance, or do you like pivot to more workforce-based bills this year?
Oh, that's a great question. So we are, when a company comes in, we are looking to enhance our product, our sites, what we're selling for Louisiana. But insurance can be a pain point for companies.
Anybody with a fleet is going to tell you that.
Insurance is a pain. Workforce is a pain point. And so yes, those continue to be things that we're going to be stepping on the gas with, because we continue to hear about that with companies. And while we have made some headway with insurance, and it may take a little bit to actually, see the results of the reforms that are happening. Yes, insurance, workforce, tax policy. I mean, we made incredible headway in terms of that, and the companies have been very appreciative and acknowledging, the improvements that we've made. But yeah, I mean, we need to do all of this, and education. And
Hey, see,
there's
education's
kind of,
what-
yes.
Education's what I'm actually taking for granted at this point because of the work that Dr. Brumley's been doing. And to
Yes.
see where we are at in rankings right there, it's only a matter of time. I mean, it takes years. Education is a generational thing. It takes years for, like, if we're number 9 in growth right now, well, those kids are still in 3rd grade.
Yep.
So they're not in the workforce just yet. So like education is a workforce or a component. I'm already like taking that as we're moving. We're not where we need to be, but we're so on our way.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up workforce because today, in fact, the governor signed an executive order about workforce and better, how formalizing what we talk about and like aligning the industry needs with where we're training people. And moving from bureaucracy to more funding towards actual training programs, but training programs that actually where they so yeah, workforce is big on the list because like we started this conversation, we have all these jobs coming down the pipeline, so who's going to who's going to fill those jobs? So workforce, yes, insurance, yes, education. They're all components of economic development. It'd be silly not to acknowledge that we need to work on those as well.
Last thing before we get you out of here, and I usually lead with this, but we had so much to cover, so I kind of pushed to the back. Everyone has an individual mission at Washington Mardi Gras. What's your mission?
Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, part of our work is engaging with some federal FaceTime, and so over the last since January 2024, we've had a lot of Zoom meetings with some federal agencies, but it's good to have some FaceTime with them to build relationships. It really goes a long way when you're sitting face to face with somebody. So I had one meeting today with a federal agency. I have another meeting with another one tomorrow. And just having that FaceTime with them and then them giving us their time, I'm tremendously grateful for. So for me personally, that's what I'd like to go home with. The Louisiana conversations are fantastic and useful and productive. But we're in DC, so it's good to have.
Well, but at the same time, though,
yeah.
and we are Louisiana. We are a relationship people, which
Yes.
is why we can pull this off this week. We can pull this off. I don't think there's another state in the union that can pull this off because we are face-to-face people. We are relationship people. That's what makes this whole thing spin. So.
No, but thank you to you for doing this and talking through these aspects because that's part of the thing. We want to tell our story. We want others to know the story and tell the story because we all have the same mission. We're all looking to elevate Louisiana.
I'm gonna let you get back to that mission right now. She's Ileana Lede from the Louisiana Department of Economic Development. Thank you so much for a couple minutes. Quick break. When we come back, we're pivoting over to talk veterans. David St. Remain joins us next. This is Talk 107.3 coverage of Washington Mardi Gras. Hello, Coach Blair.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my absolute pleasure.
Thank you. I sincerely appreciate you doing that. Seriously, thank you.
Can't do it enough.
Thank you.
Economic development, business is. I hate politics so much. You don't even.
Oh. I know.
It's curmudgeonly. It's divisive.
You couldn't do this because of, because of politics. We couldn't make this decision because of politics.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, yeah, it's. I don't know. I didn't. I majored in economics in school, so.
Did you?
Yes. And it makes so much it's a better conversation to have because it's more about where can we be, not whose fault is it.
Yep. I'm with you. Well, thank you, Brian. Thank you for your time. Thanks for having the secretary. Good to see you.
You too.
Okay. Hi. I'm just doing a radio interview.
You ready? Yeah. Awesome. Yes. What? No, dude, let me grab a water real quick. Yeah. So I ran a little bit long there, so we'll run about 5 minutes long here. Oh, look at you. You have no fucking clue how awesome it was to get him here this year. Because last year was a blizzard, he got snowed in.
Right.
The year before that, his mom passed. He's been trying to come to this thing, and I think he's going to put eyes on what I've been seeing, and really, if I'm doing 4 shows in 2 days, I can't be everywhere at once. I need guarantee needs his boots on the ground here,
100%.
hustling, being Gordy Rush.
When I just talked to him about the fundraiser, sometimes he tries and he wants to do stuff, but he can't always do everything.
Yeah.
But Garen used to do this event. So this used to be a Garen event.
Yeah.
The Rue Rally. They took it over from Markel.
Okay.
The guys from Markel.
Oh wait, are we back? Oh. That's on me. I'm just over here yammering. That's,
You're having a good time.
no, that's the whole point, right? Is setting things up, right? I finally adopted the right terminology for Washington Mardi Gras. By the way, Brian Howland here with the Washington Mardi Gras coverage on Talk 107.3 FM. We are joined by David St. Romain.
Which is not an alumni of Mardi Gras, Washington Mardi Gras.
What do you mean?
I'm only 3 years in, dude. I'm still a rookie.
No, you weren't. No. After year
Just because
2,
I've been doing music and rock and rolling for so long doesn't mean I'm not a rookie.
but after year 2, year 1, you're completely a deer in the headlights.
That's right.
Year 2, you remembered a few things from year 1, but not a lot.
Year 3, I feel like it.
You should. By this time, you should be into a nice little groove there. And but what the hell were we just talking about?
So we're going to talk about DC Mardi Gras, but we're also going to talk about Songs of Survivor.
No, I know the Songs of Survivors and the Rue Rally. We're going to get to all that.
Plug.
But we were just on something a second ago about how all the networking that goes on, all the 5-minute quick stops, right? But one of my favorite things about Washington Mardi Gras is all the apology texts when I get home saying I saw you in the hallway and I didn't follow up. Or I saw you here, I saw you there. Let's get together now. Let's get together. So the 3 months after this is all coffees and lunches that didn't happen here because it's so many people at once. I know.
So this morning I was texting somebody whose number I didn't know who it was because I'm getting all I see is numbers with my name, and because I'm sending out my number to people. And of course, in the moment, I need to remind these people, please send me your information back in that moment because otherwise tomorrow morning I'm going to text you, who is this?
Right.
And just, but you cannot imagine throwing a net out in a larger way than being here and being able to touch so many different areas of your life, whether it's personal, spiritual, professional, industry, political. It doesn't matter. This is the place to be for the last week of January every year. And I don't know, man, they're going to have a hard ass time trying to,
You
they're going to have a hard time pulling me away from DC Mardi.
So it's worth, no matter how hard it is to get
I'll
here.
spend the money.
No matter how hard it is to get here.
It's worth it.
It's
so worth it. And I get to see my man. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, always. All right, Songs and Survivors. What's the latest? What y'all working on?
So we have 16 workshops scheduled for this year. We've gone from last year's 8, doubling it. Our fundraising has been incredible. The folks in the community in the capital city area have been amazing, which is continuing. It's not something you can stop. And we're doing the work that for the people, for the veterans out there that is unique. It's a unique work where we give them an opportunity to express their positives, their struggles with us, and then we turn around and make it a song. It's just great. If you don't know our work, we are a songwriting organization that takes veterans, brings them together, gives them an opportunity to share their stories and put it into music.
Let's talk about veterans specifically for just a second.
Okay.
We had Charlton Megan Leon. He's going to be
standing in front of us.
Oh, he's right behind me. Well, I was about to brag on him, but now that he's there, I can brag on him in front of him. An amazing
We won't lie
conversation.
about him.
An amazing conversation this morning. We're going to pick it up where, maybe recap a little bit of it. But one of the overriding themes was I feel like the veteran community is finally finding its voice to network with other veterans, to relate to other veterans, and to grow what is really, seriously, one of the best parts of our overall community.
So a lot more veterans are stepping up.
Yes.
I think that they're finding that they are safe and comfortable in the ability to step up. And the ones that just are ready to go to battle and step up for each other are doing that. And what you're seeing is also an administration that is stepping up and saying, hey, we are of the veterans, we are for the veterans, and we are the veterans. And so they are, and I'm not creating a campaign slogan. It's just literally what's happened. We've got young leadership who is hungry, who doesn't mind getting out there, putting boots on the ground, putting the initiatives into place, putting the programs into place, and also partnering with organizations, other VSOs, that's veteran serving organizations like ourselves, like the Boot, that are putting people to work, putting basic needs into place. It's just an amazing thing. It takes people to make this happen. And it also takes, the media, folks like yourself, who give us the opportunity to talk about it and bring it to the public.
We've had this secret little 500 horsepower engine in our
Yeah.
veterans community, but no ignition switch.
There's a few of them though.
But no,
that
but that's what I'm
light
saying.
that fire, man.
But
and
now
make us
that
all moving.
now that folks are talking, now that the community is getting together, now that we've seen multiple pieces of legislation go through, and I'll shout out Senator Franklin Foyle,
Oh,
loud and
amazing.
clear. Anytime anybody comes to
And a
me with
veteran
veteran
himself.
yes, and go see Franklin. He's going to help you out. He's going to get you across the finish line. And when you see, that's an ignition switch right there.
Yeah.
Right. When you see like networking websites, like my guy over at BRQ is real good at this too.
Oh yeah.
Making sure veterans are hiring veterans because you speak the same language, you have the same
Performance
drive.
contractors.
But another great one, yes.
7,500 veterans
Yeah.
working for performance contractors.
Yeah, and
I don't even know or any of the folks over there, or Scott, his son. But I got to tell you, I'm getting chills right now because it warms my heart to know like there's an actual company who's focused on hiring veterans.
right.
What can we get 5 or 10 of those companies in Louisiana? And we will. And but it takes the spark, it takes those people with the drive and the initiative to make it happen. And I've got a great board ourselves at Songs and Survivors who are doing the same thing. They're out, and I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna shift over to our next event. We have a fundraiser coming up February 21st downtown.
Yep.
I know there was one thing there's 3 things that we're known for. There's agriculture, food, and music. And so we're gonna combine the 2 with Gumbo Roo Rally. We're bringing back the Roo Rally, which used to be Guarantee's event.
It was.
And so we're bringing it back. They're gonna the proceeds right now. We hope to raise some funds, but it's the first year bringing it back, so we don't have a huge expectation. Our main expectation is to bring a great event, show people what that they can support veterans, give them an opportunity to do that. But if you want to check it out, rourally.com. It's ROUX rally.com, February 21st. And we want you to come be a team. Of course, if you want to sponsor, we have opportunities to sponsor also.
So February 21st, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, I had to plug something.
No,
Sorry.
it's all. This is what we're here to plug. This is what we're here to do, though. And so, but you've said a couple times. What kind of? I mean, obviously, if it's a roux, we're making gumbo.
Yeah, it's a gumbo cook-off.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did I not?
You skipped past the gumbo
that
part.
might be the-
Well, you got something with ice and a lime in there,
We're
so
not gonna
that's
talk
what we're
about
good
it.
at too. By the way, got David St. remaining with us for just a couple more minutes. It's all good. For just a couple more minutes. But what are we looking at? We're looking at seafood gumbo. We're looking at chicken sausage.
So there's multiple divisions. We got seafood, we got chicken and sausage, and overall. And
Okay.
so there's rules and all that goes into it. I actually knew nothing about the gumbo cook-offs. One of my board members in the industry was like, "Man, this was a great event. People really want to bring it back. We think we're going to have a great response." We have almost 30 teams already.
Okay.
So it's not totally a small thing, but we'd like to have 70.
Okay.
So if you're out there and you like to cook gumbo, we'd love for you to bring your family, bring your friends.
I
bring
got
your
people. I got people that are going to get on this. I got people that I know
Gumbo
are going to get on
cook-off,
this.
rourally.com.
Yeah, I'm calling you out right now, Stuart. I'm calling you out. See, and I'm not the gumbo. Like, I love eating gumbo. I actually love seafood gumbo.
You got to make it. So I'm the worst,
But
I have a gluten allergy.
oh, jeez.
So no wheat for me. So you have to
Okay.
make somebody. I need a gluten-free gumbo team.
Make that a different category.
One category. If you can make the best gluten-free, I will give you $1,000.
But see, my thing is, as much as I love gumbo,
I didn't say
I don't
that,
want to take.
did
No,
I?
you're good. I don't want to take the time to make my own roux. Like, I'm a good roux in a jar guy. I mean,
Sapwa's not too
you-
bad. They make the gluten-free
Raging Cajun, by the way, promo code talk for 10% off. Raging Cajun makes a great roux in a jar. What?
I love this. He gives a 10% discount. Within just 2 seconds, he just pulls it out of his hat. 10%, by the way, Raging Cajun.
Promo code talk. Okay.
That's my man. This is why I
goodness
love you
gracious.
so
Well,
much.
look, we got to get you on a lot to promote the Roux Rally as it moves
Thank you.
forward. I've been in contact with Chad
Saw
already.
Gordy. I'm holding him to his feet to the fire on this one.
Let's go.
And we'll continue. Gary Broadcasting has been a huge supporter of Song Survivors from the Poker Run, the Roux Rally, the Olin Golf Tournament. You guys always continue to bring bring back support for our community. Locally owned, locally based, still doing local work. It's
100 years old. by the way.
amazing.
100 years old.
People don't even understand how big of a deal that is in radio.
No. Well, I mean,
Every radio station is owned by a major conglomerate company,
yes.
except companies like here.
Yeah,
So,
it's.
give you a little shout out.
I greatly
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Flynn. Thank you, Gordy, for being great to the Baton Rouge.
One more before you get you out of here. Got to ask you about your mission at Washington Mardi Gras this year. What are you looking to tackle specifically this year?
So performing is not the goal for this year. I hoped to just enhance my work in the community as an advocate. I serve on a board for the parish, one board. I don't really know where I'm headed. I'll never run for office. I say that. People say that all the time, oh, don't say never, but I gotta be honest, I don't need that. What I need to do is continue to support the community in a unique way with my skill set. So I just hope to continue to build my network and meet as many people as I can. Again, going back, like you meet so many people, cards are put in your pocket all night long and phone numbers are coming through your phone, but making sense of it all is not the best. I'm not always the greatest at that. I need, Susan helps me big time, my admin director, in keeping my stuff together. So I just really hope to build that network and help support the missions, the community of the state of Louisiana, the community of the capital city, Baton Rouge, and of course our veterans are a huge part of it.
Well, let's figure out how we can make this Rue Rally unbelievably unstoppable.
Thank you so much.
Always, brother. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're sticking with veterans. Moving over to Charlton McGinley. If you were with us this morning, you heard a little bit of the
McGinley,
story.
get that right. McGinley. Charlton McGinley.
That's not him who told me. All right.
McGinley, right?
We'll pronounce his name right after this. I'll talk with him.
Sorry. I had to mess with you.
Oh, man.
Oh, Megan. So Megan just said, good interview. Megan Ryber, awesome LTA.
Oh, shit. So she makes a powdered gumbo. Could you
It's
do
not hard to make a gluten-free.
Yes,
Almond flour?
almond flour works.
It's
That
not
and
hard.
xanthan gum.
You
Yeah.
gotta find the right flour, you
Yeah.
make it very solid.
I have celiac, so I don't have a choice. I love it.
Room for majority cheese.
I'm breaking
I
shit.
got you. All right. All right, that's done.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. It's free time on the air. Don't consider it.
So which is it?
McGinley.
McGinley.
Yes.
I thought you said Megan Lee.
McGinley. I said you were close enough.
No, close enough.
You're
Close enough. Get your Haldane.
Yeah, you're fine. Look,
There's our two L's.
Correct. Thank you.
there are certain things in life that I've come to accept, and that is no one is ever going to get my entire name except for my middle name, which is Joseph Everett.
That's my middle name.
It is McGinley.
And look, it is McGinley. And if I had my
See,
way,
that sounds almost Irish.
it is Irish. I will be at the Irish embassy tomorrow because they said, "Oh, with a name like McGinley, you need to come here." I'm like, "This is all my people."
Yeah.
So
I meant what
I
I
have nice
said.
things to say.
I meant what I said.
I know you do.
How many drinks? Actually, not enough. The truth is that talking after really is that, like, you can see the difference. It's showing.
Oh, I have the numbers. I can actually point you to. I have tangible data that shows the difference. You know,
It matters, but yeah, it really does, man.
drones. I think drones like so much out there. I'm like, maybe next year. He left last night. He's at
Oh, you
Saints.
mean at DC, not
Yeah, Saints.
LBA.
He-
I thought you said he left.
No.
I was like, don't tell me
He ain't
that.
going anywhere.
I love the guy.
He has been all day at the Saints for the Battle of the Branches.
I got it.
Oh,
that's
I saw that going on.
I got
So
it.
he is there. He goes, dude, I met Tyler Shaw. I met the
Oh, he's
center.
way
I
more.
was talking to Dylan Bosher. I got things signed. We got great pictures. It was a great game. It was a great event. And the Saints do pretty good for us.
Yeah.
The Saints have even gone so far as to say, we're going to let you put up a table in the middle of a game and do outreach until the first quarter ends. So,
That's
and,
awesome.
and we
Are we? No, it's still commercial.
and so, I give a big shout out to Saints, Hells. We're doing,
They have this thing coming up.
the employment.
Yeah.
The
We're just not doing it.
No, because they have all the employers who show up job fair. But we there and we help coordinate it. It's a big thing. So knowledge. So Gail Benson, we recognized her on the field during the Veterans Day back in October. So, you know, gave her a flag, gave her a certificate, gave her all the things. For doing all the things she does. And of course,
You got the right mindset.
Of course, Mr. Benson was Navy. So.
All right. Good afternoon. I'll see you tonight. I'll see you tonight.
It's gonna be a freaking madhouse.
I do not have a ticket.
I have a respect.
You have a wristband.
I do not have a wristband.
Okay, so once I'm in, if I gotta come out, just stay in touch with me.
I'm supposed to have another one coming
That's
to
me
me.
if you don't, if you
Yeah.
get another one, you get it.
But my plan is actually coming to Washington.
Okay.
And then I have friends who are coming in.
LSU. Is it LSU? Yeah, they just said that.
LSU girls.
LSU, Arkansas, in the women's side. It's gonna be over before by 8:15.
That's,
All right, boys.
yes, because they are not good.
I'm going to have a cigarette.
You did. The mic was turned down.
Tell the boys I love them. At home. Thanks for working. Remember, I'm the singer. Hey, you get away with everything. Too many girlfriends.
Yes, it is our continuing coverage of Washington Mardi Gras. Show number 2, not quite in the books just yet, y'all. We got another 20 minutes or so before we break out of here. Talking now, continuing to talk with veterans. By the way, coverage of Washington Mardi Gras presented by the Presley Wealth Management, Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association, Baton Rouge Metro Airport, Restore the Mississippi River Delta, and the great folks over at Rev. All right, continuing our conversation about veterans, but pivoting a little bit. If you were with us this morning, you met Charlton McGinley. Sorry on the mispronunciation. You told me this morning I was close enough on the. It's never close enough. You gotta get the name right.
It's fine.
No, it's what now that I have it right, I'm not gonna get it wrong anymore. So it's it's close enough. Get you Haldane as opposed to Haldane. So like
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm a firm believer in making sure you're properly recognized. He heads up the Veterans Department for Louisiana. Where do you want to pick this conversation back up again? Because I don't want to repeat everything we said this morning, but there's a lot of folks listening who weren't around this morning.
So let me pick up with what David said. So I had a chance to walk in and listen to a little bit.
My
of
apologies.
No, and listen. To
Wait,
the
hang
interview.
hang on, real quick though, because I do have to add on to one thing from last segment.
Okay.
Only because I know she's listening. I was talking about how I don't make a good gumbo. Pappy's has the gumbo in a bag, and we had them on Foodie Friday on my show. They sent me home with one as well. My wife made it the other night. It killed.
Really?
You would not think. It comes out like a gumbo that you spent 9 hours sitting over. It came out beautifully with chicken and sausage. Pappy's is what it is. It's awesome.
Let me tell you something. David talking about how he couldn't eat gumbo. I'm like, my heart went out to him, right?
Yeah, in this weather, are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm like, who can't enjoy gumbo and like almond flour? I don't know how that would work in a gumbo, but hey, it's something,
It's
right?
better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. But you know, as a Louisianian, for that man,
Yeah,
I'd say some prayers for him.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so getting back into it, as you were talking with David.
So, I've known David actually since high school.
Really?
David briefly went to high school in Alexandria. He was actually my brother's class. And then
Okay.
he moved to Baton Rouge. I think it was Baton Rouge at some point while he was there. And so I hadn't seen him for years and years and years and years. But I remember him having a distinct music ability in high school. He liked to play in band, he had a guitar. And so I see him many, many years later. Of course, he didn't remember me, but I remembered him because that was the impression that he had left on me so many years earlier. And so his 501c, his nonprofit, Songs from Survivors, we were actually a partner with them through the state. I saw him in action do exactly what he was talking about. And let me tell you, there's 45,000 nationwide 501cs in the veteran space.
Yeah.
The vast majority of them do not live on more than 3 years because it's hard. How do you set yourself apart as an organization who wants to help veterans? David's is different.
Okay.
I watched him do it. I watched him get to the heart and soul of a veteran as he's trying to develop the song. And that veteran, in this case, broke down.
So wait, just for the backstory that don't fully understand, because David gave a brief summary earlier, and we've had it on so many times, we kind of assume. I mean, it's essentially music therapy.
Correct.
It's taking your own experience and really whatever you're carrying with you afterwards, putting it on paper and putting it to song. And in doing so, that transference right there is the catharsis. That is the therapy right there. And so that's what he does. So
You explained it perfectly. And so, when I think of therapies, oftentimes people think of like traditional psychotherapies, going to see a shrink, but there's so many other forms of therapy for veterans that we are only now starting to talk about.
I got to get you in touch with my people over at NeuroJust. Oh, by the way, sponsor the show. We'll talk about that after the show.
Absolutely. But Songs for Survivors, he's talking to them. Like, tell me what your issue is. And it's like, ask them the next question and ask them the next question. And the next thing you know is you're putting it to music and the veteran gets to hear his own words. It's like, it's something completely different in the veteran space, which is why David is so successful with what he's doing and why we want to be part of it as one of his partners, and making sure that anytime I see David, I see, what he's doing. Look, this is good stuff. This is good therapy. And by the way, you've got a musician. Oh, by the way, you've got a veteran. David's a veteran himself.
Yes.
And so he's got the credibility to bring with what he's doing in action. It's amazing. Outdoor therapy. Let me talk about that. I just saw my good friend Toby Cortez. He's a North Shore guy. If you're aware, over at Boca Chica Park over in
Took an RV trip to Boca Chica Park this past summer.
There you go.
Yep.
So you've seen all the trails.
Yeah.
All right. So,
yes.
okay. So the trails out there are absolutely amazing.
Some of them longer than others.
That's
and
right.
For those that follow my show, they know that joke.
Yeah. And so Toby Cortez is one of those developers of these trails, and not a veteran himself, but recognizing the importance of having outdoor therapy and getting veterans outside to encourage them to say, look, come and bike, come and do these trails, push yourself, exert yourself. Look, the vast majority of veterans have a very, very hard time sitting still. As you can tell, I do too.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just one of those things. I love being outside. I love hiking.
Well, you come from a regimented schedule.
Correct. And you also come from a mindset of people who push.
Yeah.
Right. Can I add another 5 pounds? Can I run an extra quarter of a mile? Can I get something much faster? And so outdoor therapy, one of the big pushes that we've been looking into, VA's been looking into it. And so again, I point these out because everything isn't just limited to drugs for veterans.
Right.
I hate the idea of people just giving drugs to veterans to deal with their problems, when oftentimes it could be as simple as fresh air and just getting someone to talk to them in a different way.
Yeah.
Something alternative, something that is beyond the scope of what we would normally think in terms of any therapy, not just for veterans, but anything.
Oh, I so badly need to put your attention on guys in there. Just your love is it's
Cool.
It's a completely different type of therapy. But the outdoor therapy, I mean, and the world that is the medical world has shown being in the sun is just good health for you anyway.
Absolutely. Vitamin D.
Yeah.
5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Even 10 minutes a day. And so to me, we want to make sure we're pushing that. We let veterans know. We give them any notices that I get in terms of outdoor therapy. Hey, vet, this is something that you might be interested in. And oh, by the way, you might be with your community as well. And so the events at Boca Chica, those are veteran-driven events. They're encouraged, and hopefully the veterans themselves will all get together and be amongst their brothers and sisters if they have that support network that they had when they were in the service.
We're talking with Charlton McGinley from the Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs. Okay, let's pivot right there to what I was talking about when David was on a little while ago. And was I right in what I was taking away from our conversation this morning? The network is finally growing where it needs to be. The relationships amongst veterans to broaden things out within that community when you talk about veterans, you're talking about people that come from a regimented lifestyle, looking for purpose afterwards, but also always here to serve and not wanting to be a burden on someone else. So speaking up isn't part of the normal routine. What we're seeing now is learning that speaking up is the ability to serve. And that's a bit of a pivot there where we're finally starting to see some growth within that community.
Absolutely. And look, one of the VFW's mantras is never stop serving, right? And I think that's really a mantra for the vast majority of veterans. You can't just take the uniform off and just mentally not have any connection with the military whatsoever. Your DD-214 says otherwise. So that's your paperwork that says you got your discharge and you serve, right? And so the networking has been amazing, I think, in the last 2 years. It's been one of the things that my deputy, Dr. Jerome Buller, and I have been doing so much more just getting out and making sure that we're going to the meetings where I'm able to talk to someone and say, look, you may not need a benefits question, but tell me about the business that you want to operate right now. Oh, by the way, I know somebody in LED who can help you get your business started. Or I know an entrepreneur in the Indiana area who can help you with this. And so what you find is this is in the public in general, but really for veterans as well, especially those of us who came back, we don't know who to go to. But once you start developing that next level, like, oh wait, I don't know, but I know a guy.
Right.
I know this person and I trust him, I trust her to help you. It's been amazing. And so I'll show you, for me, the biggest indication of the network was just the benefits themselves. The VA gave me some numbers a couple of months ago. We were able to do a press release, but I'll tell you this. We have in the state of Louisiana about 252,000 veterans. Of those 252, 106,000 received some sort of VA benefit. The previous year, it had been 102,000. Okay, so we went up 6% in terms of number of veterans who were getting their benefits. The national average was 2.
Wow.
2%.
And
We
you
were doing
increased by
6. Here's the thing: we lost 10,000 veterans in the state of Louisiana,
Oh, no. Okay.
just through age or moving away.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, according to the VA's own data. So even though we had a relatively minor dip in every state, by the way, except the major states, Texas, Tennessee, Florida, South Carolina, most every states are having a veteran population decline. There's no wars going on, thank God. Right? So as your older vets, your World War II, your Korea, and even your Vietnam vets start to pass away, with no war to generate more veterans to go in, you're going to see that kind of number kind of dip and then stabilize.
But that's where you look at percentages and not just gross numbers.
That's right. Yeah. And so to me, even though I had a loss of veteran population, I still had a gain in the number of veterans who I have here who are getting their benefits. Why does that matter? I'm going to tell you why. Because of those 106,000-ish or so veterans who are getting VA benefits, about 82,000 of them get some sort of compensation and pension from the VA. That 82,000 vets, so less than 4% of the state's population, they're bringing in $2.2 billion. B with a B. Yeah. B as in boy. So we're talking a very small part of the population is propping up the economies of everywhere they live. And that goes back to what I said this morning. That's not even including military retirement. Military retirement is DOD money. That's another $720 million. Okay. Oh, by the way,
when you add up to the other one, you get really close to $3 billion.
Okay. And that doesn't even include health care. Okay. So I get TRICARE. I'm a DOD retiree, military retiree. I get TRICARE. I pay a ridiculously low number for my health care every month. That's one of the benefits. In fact, it's arguably the best benefit of being a retiree. But what's the importance of that to the state? I am not a burden on the state. The feds own me for health care. Washington, D.C. owns my health care.
Okay.
The state doesn't ever have to worry about it. And if I don't want TRICARE, I go to the VA. So the feds will always own me. And they take care of my family as well until my kid turns 23 or whatever, the time is that she comes off TRICARE.
Unbelievable stuff.
And we're talking just in terms of the VA, not the DOD numbers. The VA, it's another almost $2 billion of health care spent in the state of Louisiana on our veterans. There you go.
Unbelievable stuff. We got to call it right there, though. He is Charlton McGinley, heads up Veterans Affairs for the state of Louisiana. Man, I greatly appreciate it. You double dip today. That's awesome.
I'll be here tomorrow if you want to talk.
We got a full slate tomorrow. In fact, when I come back from break, we're going to tease what it is tomorrow. In the meanwhile, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you,
awesome
sir.
Stuff.
That was great.
We got to take one more break here. When we come back, we will close it out, our first day's coverage of Washington Mardi Gras right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Oh, my word.
I'm going to go get a drink.
Have at it. Yeah. The thing at the did I ask you this morning? You're going to the Irish.
I'll be at the Irish Embassy tomorrow.
Okay. That's invite only?
As far as I know.
Okay.
Beth Mizell was the one who got me the invite.
What time is that?
2. Do you know Beth?
Yes, very well.
See if she can do that.
I will.
Peter Egan might be able to get you one too. In fact, Peter is the chair. And I love Peter. Like truly, like.
I've had Peter, so Peter had a bill last session that wanted to put a $5 million cap on damages from an accident, from a car accident. $5 million aside from repair and lost income and medical, like your car gets fixed, your lost income gets paid for, your medical gets paid for. $5 million cap on all the other, that didn't pass. It was the most common sense bill put together by the most common sense man, and it couldn't clear out.
I have 3 to 5. I feel like it's 2 to 4. I don't know if there's I'll text Beth and make sure. Peter Egan is, when I'm an old man, older man, I hope I'm as distinguished and genteel as he is. He is salt of the earth legislator who just really wants to do good for people. Beth is too. I love Beth.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Beth's son's a Marine. So. But yeah. Are you going to be in here for this or not?
I am going to. About to wrap up. I got to break all this down and then figure out where I'm going tomorrow because I don't have a place tomorrow morning yet. So
this is where I'll be tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to get everything out of the way before the people get in here.
Thanks for having me. Good. Always. Look, this was a lot of fun. Thank
Glad to hear it. Thank you.
For letting me do this.
Have to think of more, have to get some more,
We can move the flowers however we need to for the food. Is this okay? Okay. That's an interesting table they found, Joe.
Yeah, it weighs about 1,000 pounds.
Oh, no.
No, it's okay. I'm going to hide it behind the banner over there.
Oh, no. So, unwrapping the drops. I kind of want to see that. And flowers on here, right? Like, just pull from. Put it back. Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna put this one in. Yeah. I would say anything. No, I can't. That's the one. It's like, that's a choice. I mean, I'm not gonna question you. But
We got just about 3 minutes to go here before we're going to sign off for the day. Got a lot going on tonight. Oh, don't forget tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time, we will have LSU women's basketball, which means 6:30 is pregame. Patrick Wright, Shida Williams on the call. LSU taking on Arkansas tonight, and I believe that's in the Maryville Facility Center. They're in the middle of a homestand, so I would imagine it is. I can tell you this room that I'm in right now. If you're looking at the, if you're hearing the noise in the background, they're setting up for a watch party. So the game will be on the big screen here at the Washington Hilton as Kim Mulkey and her Tigers take on Arkansas, who, as I understand it, is just not good. So hopefully that'll be a little bit of a rout there. The Tigers have their what together at this point, firing on all cylinders. All right, coming up tomorrow morning, we will hit the airwaves, of course, at 6:04, like we always do every morning. On the guest list tomorrow, we've got Metro Councilwoman Jen Rocca. Now, I know, and I'm going to say this with like full knowing, the want is going to be to talk about the latest headlines. But really, the Metro Council's role at Washington Mardi Gras is going to play on this conversation very big. Now, after Jen in our 6 o'clock hour, 7 o'clock hour, we're going to blow out top stories and trending. because Tim Temple's hopping on board. Our insurance commissioner always gets a lot done on this DC trip. Tommy Fauché from the Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association slated to join us at 7:15. Our Economic Development Secretary, Susan Bourgeois, 7:35 all the way up until heads up 8 o'clock. I'm hoping to keep her for both segments right there. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll have Joe Carvalito from the LSU Alumni Association. And then it's back to LED one more time. And you know what? I did not write down who the guest was right there. I just flagged that they have that particular segment. So going to be a full and fun morning to be sure. If you don't join us in the morning, just a preview, and we don't have the whole lineup set up just yet. But tomorrow afternoon, we will have Adrian Owen Jones slated to join us. Chris Sonka is going to be on with us as well. The Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency is going to be on, and a visit from Zach Kilshaw, too, along with Restore the Mississippi River Delta. So we're going to plug and play a lot tomorrow afternoon, as there will be tons to talk about. Look, we had a big day today. You heard about a couple of different economic development announcements out of Lake Charles. You also heard about the huge cybersecurity announcement with LSU and the U.S. Army. And those are just two of the many things to drop today. Oh, and the governor's workforce proclamation. If I could editorialize for just a quick second, one of the things that I look for in every Washington Mardi Gras is what's to come from the legislative session. I got to tell you, after one day up here, it's been workforce. I have heard nothing, but it's like super hyper focused on workforce. So if you see LED on my rundown a lot, that's intentional because that's where it seems like things are going. So that's my takeaway from day one, as it were. We got to wrap it up. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. LSU basketball is coming your way in just a little bit on Talk 107.3 FM. Awesome, Cade. Thank you. I got to hustle quick to get out of here. Yes.
Emma Wagner with LED. Oh, nice to finally meet you.
Likewise.
Thanks for having Ileana on today.
She could have done both.
Oh, she's amazing.
Oh,
We love
so
her.
good. Yeah, and look,
They make my job easy.
y'all's world is my favorite world to play in because it's all about dreaming and where we can be.
Yeah.
Not pissing on each other for what we're not,
Exactly.
which is what the rest of politics is.
Exactly.
So anyway,
Are you doing the basketball show?
I'm packing up all my equipment, getting out of the way of basketball. So
Are you here tomorrow morning
I-
with Susan?
I don't know. I've been told two different things, and I don't know who to answer to yet.
Okay.
So worst case scenario, I'll be texting you a different location in a little while.
Do you need to be in,
I mean, yeah.
Louisiana now?
Let me know if you
Holy
need it
shit,
in the
let's do
morning.
that.
What time do you need to be in there?
Can I get access to it for 6 a.m.?
I can ask Rachel, and I can text you and let you know.
We're calling.
That'll solve this whole thing very, very quickly.
Just do the whole, definitely the morning. I don't know. I mean, the afternoon's just hospitality.
Nobody's there until before 10 o'clock, right?
Oh, no. We don't have anything.
6 o'clock access.
Yeah, 6 till 10.
Yeah, that'd be easy for Susan. Okay, so Josh can't do it tomorrow, but I have the people from New Lab who just broke ground on their thing. I can send you their names and their titles.
Please.
Brian Haldane
And
hosts
which-
his show in the Louisiana Now.
New Lab, NU or NEW?
NEW.
From,
LAB.
he would need access
What do they
to
do?
the suite at
They
6,
are,
from 6 to 10.
they're an innovation hub. They're working with like LSU and Shell and Fuel,
To
and
10,
then LAIO is giving them a bunch of money.
yes.
And they're kind of like, of R&D, they're on like the D side. They're kind of like a place where different
Okay.
companies,
We
like
have
they're kind of the
real-
next level of a
we have-
startup, like they need to
Emma,
physically make their
We
product.
have real breakfast at 9,
We have real breakfast at 9.
9 to 11.
What time would you be done?
I'd be done at 10. If I'm like,
Yeah, they'll be having people come in for the breakfast starting at 9.
Oh, yeah,
Is-
we can't do it there.
Okay. All right, that's what I needed. That's okay. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
You could do it till 8, but then you'd have to move in the middle.
I do what?
You could do it till 8 or 8:30, but then.
It's a
you
live
have to
radio
move.
show, though, so I
Yeah,
can't.
you
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it's, then you can't move.
Yeah. Well, and that's the reason I can't be in here is because they have a breakfast in here from 9 to 11.
Right.
So, which I'm really like, I'm not in the way as far as like breakfast is concerned. Like it's,
Well, they're just gonna be having their, I don't even know what they do with this breakfast, but.
Okay. So you're just sorry that didn't work.
no worries. It's a good shot.
Anyway, I'll send you the rundown on New Lab and who it's gonna be.
Okay,
Great dudes.
and I will send you when I'm no longer homeless and I can find a spot.
You could ask Rachel with your crew, about the executive lounge. That's what we ended up having to use this afternoon
Earlier.
because we couldn't use the LED suite at the same time either. And it's literally like right across and it's fairly
Mhm.
quiet.
See who's, well, they have like
You guys
the
been there?
card group is,
They're there
they got a
tonight.
whole thing, but
Yeah,
I don't know
they're
if
there
they're there
tonight.
tomorrow. We can ask.
It's just an option. It was empty today. So we ended up moving there.
Hospitality suites really kick off tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
All right.
They have
Nice.
glassware. Sweet, I think. That one was starting.